What's going on, everyone? We're back with 5 new patches. Are you ready? Let's make something disgusting. We're going to be in Serum today, whole way through. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and just throw the phase and random to 0 here. And let's see. Let's really kind of experiment with the S2 tables and see what we got here. Let's choose bark. Whoa, that's pretty hard. Go into that wavetable position of 35. Turn on oscillator B. Let's just keep it real simple to start. Oscillator B's phase and random to 0. Go to basic shapes from the analog section for the wavetable selection. And go to envelope 2. Throw the attack out to about 142 milliseconds. Throw envelope 2 onto the wavetable position of oscillator A. That's nasty. Put that out at minus 55, and then go ahead and put the distortion on. Change it from tube to overdrive. Quick way to just beef it up. Oh my god, that's hard. Woo! Put an equalizer in there, and go ahead and put the right side gained out of 4, left side gained out of 2. Go ahead and bring in a hyperdimension. I'm going to widen it up a little bit. Put the hyper to 0 and the dimension to 10. And then what I want to do is put in a reverb. Alright, change it from plate to hall. Throw the low cut to 25. Decay out to about 7. Pre-delay to about 215. Mix to 9. Look at that. That's just a nice, easy sustain right there. That's nasty. It's like that's really more, I mean, you could use it in a trap way, but it's more of like seems like a dubstep bass to me. Like if you just went like another beat here, we'll go. What do I have here? We got. There it is right there. There's our dubstep beat. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's a nice little dubstep beat. Or dubstep bass. Alright. There's number 1 for you right there. Super simple. Hard Academy. Boom. And we'll go ahead and call this, it's a bass. We'll call it Dubstep Wet Dream. Alright. Now, how do we make this cooler? What we can do is put a noise oscillator on here. Throw the level down to 0. Modulate that with envelope 2. Now look. Kind of made it grittier, right? And then what we can do is turn on oscillator C and go to the digital section. Go ahead and select Evil Long Reese. Throw the phase and random to 0. I just chose that because I know there's a lot of information in it. I'll go ahead and put the wavetable position to 107. Put envelope 2 onto the wavetable position. Put that out at 18%. Throw level of oscillator C down to about 1%. Throw LFO1 onto the level of oscillator C. Put that rate to 1/8. So there's a way to kind of like, but it's too many like low frequencies competing. So put a sync in the warping slot of oscillator C. And then what we'll do is throw envelope 2 onto the sync here. Put the sync to like 1.10%. And now let's play around with the outer dial of our envelope 2. That's nasty. That's hard. That's pretty disgusting. So what I did is I changed the unison from 1 voice to 2 voice on oscillator C, put the detune to 0.06, and let's see, what else did I do here? I put the outer dial on our sync here to 58%, all right? So now it wasn't too many like low mid frequencies competing with each other. I needed like a higher up tone to kind of go with our lower down tones. Now it's nice. That needs more of like a trap beat. So now check this out. But it needs to be like, I thought that would be right, but slower. That's nasty. We'll go ahead and call that dubstep super wet dream. I don't know, that's just what came to mind. Alright, there's two right there. Let's go ahead and initialize here. And let's go to phasing random to 0 here on oscillator A. And we'll go back to the S2 tables, go to the digital section. Let's Mr. Bruce Lee. That just sounds, what the hell is that? How the hell do you make a cool sound out of this? Don't test me. We're gonna make it real hard. Mr. Bruce Lee, go into the wavetable position to I guess 1, I guess. And then make it even harder is go ahead and throw basic shapes on here on oscillator B, throw the phase and random to 0. Now it's like we're not giving ourselves any room to make something tight. Now go ahead and bring in a distortion and go ahead and change it from tube to overdrive, throw the drive to 60. Now go ahead and bring in a equalizer, put the right side gain down to 6, left side gain down to 2. Now go ahead and bring in a hyperdimension, put the hyper to 0, the dimension to 10. It's like, how the hell are we going to do this? Well, we can use a sync for 1. Go to envelope 2 and throw that attack out to about 157. Put a sync on oscillator A's warping slot and throw envelope 2 onto the sync. Put that out to like 84. Interesting. Maybe a bend plus minus will gritty this up. We'll go ahead and put a bend plus minus on oscillator B. It's a warping slot. Put that to 49%. Throw envelope 2 onto the bend plus minus. Put that out at minus 46. Turn the sub oscillator on. Now, the only thing I can think of to make this, to really kind of split this up, get this out right, is maybe a comb filter. Put the level of oscillator, before we get into the filter, put the level of oscillator A down to 0. Throw LFO1 onto the level of oscillator A. Put the outer dot at 1/8. Now, how did I get here with the filter here? I turn it on for oscillator A and B, change it to a comb filter in the miscellaneous section. Put the cutoff to 52 Hz, the resonance to 50%. Go ahead and throw the drive to 1, and that's it. That's hard. That's pretty sick. Ugh. That's disgusting. I don't know what I'd use this sound for, but it's hard. Maybe I would go like use it as a reverb splash. So I throw like a reverb on here and really exaggerate it with some pre-delay and oh, use it like that, like in a breakdown, like feel the rhythm and get the bass. Get the bass and feel the rhythm. Be a good house bass too. But then, like, what you would do with this is you would notch out. See how it starts to get boomy? Starts to get boomy up at this F. So, notch that out. Now it's a lot like more like cleaner throughout the, you know, it doesn't get boomy as you get into those boomy notes like F and G and stuff like that. That's a cool sound though. You'll definitely find something to use for that. That's hard. I really like that. And you can change up the harmonics. You can change it up. Let me save it first. I'm going to go ahead and call this glitter pussy. Hard. And then you can change the cutoff of the filter, you know, and get that changes it. That changes it. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's hard. But yeah, you can really find some sweet spots on that comb filter. All right, let's go ahead and initialize here. Go into the phase and random 0. And what we'll do is go to the digital section. Go ahead and select cream. Go into that wavetable position to 62. Turn on oscillator B. Go to the S2 tables. Go to the digital section. I keep seeing dinosaurs. It's right in my face. Go into the phase and random 0. And let's just modulate into some positions, not even knowing what dinosaurs is going to sound like. Throw envelope 2 onto the wavetable position of oscillator A. Oh, but move the attack on envelope 2 out to about, I guess, 177 milliseconds. Put that out of 53. Throw envelope 2 onto the wavetable position of oscillator B now. Whoa. Put the outer dial on oscillator B to 53% on that wavetable position. Now let's go ahead and let's be very careful with this, because if I overdrive and 60% this, it's gonna mess up our tone. So I'll keep it on tube with a distortion on. Keep it on tube and throw the drive to 75% instead, and we'll control this more so by changing put a compressor on here, change it from single to multiband. Throw the threshold down to -7.6 and the gain to 4. Now we still got this pretty much same result, and it's still controlled without doing that overdrive, like making it too over stuffy. It can do that sometimes. Put an equalizer on now, bring the right side gain down to 4. And now what we'll do is go ahead and bring in a hyperdimension, put the hyper to 0, the dimension to 10, okay? And go ahead, turn on the sub oscillator. That's disgusting. We need a reverb for this for sure. Put a reverb on, plate to Hall. Low cut to like 27. Pre-delay is always nice. 452. Decay out to about 8.1. Nasty. Mix to 11. This is like glitter pussy's like daddy right here. We just need some sub. We can put the left side gain dial on our equalizer to about 8. Okay. Turn on the noise oscillator, put the level down to 0, throw envelope 2 onto the level of the noise, and outer dial to 40. It's a really nice dubsteppy bass if you did that dubstep beat. That's nasty on a trap beat too, but it's really like it's really heavy. If we wanted to use it more like with this kind of beat, I really like this because it's just fat. I know you can see this on a boom tap beat. It would be so hard. Let's do it again. Do I have a? Okay, so we'll go like this. Alright, so there's our dubstep beat. So now we've got cool, right? That's hard. I mean, I need different drums, obviously. I'm using like trap drums, but you get, you got to be able to extrapolate what I'm saying here. So we'll go ahead and call this Dino. We'll go ahead and, there's a bass, we'll go ahead and call this Dino Soar. And if we want to tighten this up now, let's tighten this bass up. We'll go into the level of oscillator A down, throw LFO1 onto the level of oscillator A. Now check it. That's interesting, but I want to flip this actually. So let's put the level back to 75. Put the level of oscillator B down to 0, throw LFO1 onto the level of oscillator B. There it is. It's all about that balance, figuring out what of the tones and timbres and harmonics that you want to start modulating. In this case, that flip between A and B really helped bring out this, which is, that's the sound. That's the ooh, that's disgusting. That's nasty. We need an actual. Kind of messed up that hat there, but that's nasty. That's disgusting. Oh, that's nasty. This is a cool sound. Now it's really tightened it up also. And then that pre-delay on the reverb, that's sick. I'll go ahead and call this, now it's not a bass anymore. It's more so like a movement bass. We'll go ahead and call this Dino Sex. All right, sick. What the hell? Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. That's hard. All right, let's initialize one last time here. And go ahead and throw the phase and random to 0. And let's go to the S2 tables. I just really don't like any of these wavetables really all that much. I'm able to like make something decent out of them, I guess, but I'm not like blown away by these wavetables. I don't know, maybe the focus was on something else. Something different sonically this go round for the second iteration of this program. There are some on here that are pretty nice and like really like harmonically rich. Like one that I know I think is, you could do cool things with harsh harm, but there's nothing like, I'm looking for something kind of like Cream. Like, where's our ones that are really our screamers, you know? And I haven't, I mean, I have at this point used every single wavetable in Serum 2 at this point, in a tutorial at this point. None of them I really remember. I kind of like that. I just kind of see what I can do with it. Let's go with Porta Waves S2 tables digital section. Wavetable position to 119. Turn on oscillator B. Let's try and find another digital section analog. Now the analog section on Serum 2 is phenomenal. We can use AT Entity and what the hell? Wait, which one did I think I was using? It wasn't Entity, but there's like one on here that really changes really nicely, almost like Distwa Tech. But I kind of like Further Mood Symmetry also. We can use this. Phase and random to 0 and oscillator B. Wavetable position to 25. Turn on oscillator, go to envelope 2 rather, and throw the attack out to about 156. Throw envelope 2 onto the wavetable position of oscillator B. That's hard. Outer data 72. Envelope 2 onto the wavetable position of oscillator A now. That's hard. Outer data 43. Now, this is where an overdrive will come in handy, I think. Well, now, I'll show you what the difference, alright? So if we overdrive this, don't do anything yet. If we overdrive this 60% drive, that actually helps. It didn't destroy it, but if we overdrive this, if we distortion this, keep it on tube, 78% drive, and then we go ahead and throw a compressor on here, single to multiband, threshold down to minus 6.8, gain to 5. It's like almost the same thing, but sometimes it really helps preserve the detail in your tone. Compressor distortion, now just distortion. In this case, it's pretty close, so we'll just delete that and stick with the overdrive 60%. And now what we'll do is go ahead and bring in an equalizer, put the right side gain down to like 6, left side gain down to 2. Now turn on the sub oscillator, it's going to change everything. And then we'll go ahead and bring in no hyperdimension this time. I like to lean on that a lot. Plate to Hall on the reverb here, and low cut to 29, decay out to 8.1, pre-delay to 224. Mix to 10. That's pretty disgusting. What can we do with this now? I did not mean to put that there. I meant to put it here. That's hard. Bend plus minus on the warping slot of oscillator A. Put that to minus 19%. Throw envelope 2 onto the bend plus minus. Put the outer dial out to 84%. That's pretty sick. And you could really keep it like this, but really boost, bring in another equalizer and boost the fuck out of the lows. It's pretty sick. We could play around with the phase to find a better sub style, but I like the thump of it. Oh my gosh. Phase on oscillator A 342, phase on oscillator B 146. That's pretty sick. We can put the noise oscillator onto the level down to 0. Throw envelope 2 onto the level in noise. Really subtle. It's about 30%. And if we want more tone out of this, we can throw a sync on here. Look. So you can do that. I don't really like how that turned out. What if we PD from A? Let's see. That's interesting. Let's add a sync to that. Okay, let's add a sync this way instead. Let's start this way and modulate backwards. I like that. Okay, so I was really trying to get somewhere with this, but I put a sync on the next warping slot of oscillator A, put that to 4.94%, threw envelope 2 onto that sync, and put the outer dial to minus 95. Added a PD from A on the warping slot of oscillator B, put that to 52%. I was trying to do something with this sync, but didn't work out. So now we've got that. That's hard. Slower. Alright, there's our beat right there. That's pretty sick. But I'm not done with this one yet. Let's really fuck this sound up. Miscellaneous reverb filter. Quick way to just... Oscillator B as well. Oh my gosh. That is a nasty shit. That just made it into a boulder bass. Really works for the key of like D and D sharp. Or E flat, whatever direction you're going. That's pretty sick, man. And now maybe the sync will work now. Yeah, I knew it. I just needed to mangle this a little bit more. There it is. Put a sync on the warping slide of oscillator B and go ahead and keep it at 1%. Throw envelope 2 on there. On the outer dial, put it to 100%. Now, that's the sound right there. That's the sound that makes you go, ooh. That's nasty. Oh! That's disgusting. It still will kind of fall apart depending on what notes you play. That's hard. That's hard. There it is, though. Heart Academy. I'm going to go ahead and call this. First thing that popped in my mind was Romulus. That's hard. What a sick-ass name, too. Maybe you can throw the level down and throw LFO1 onto the level of oscillator A. And now look. Do the same thing on LFO on oscillator B, level down. That's freaking disgusting. Oh my gosh. It's like weird. Oh. It's really, really heavy, so I need like a whole different drums and like whole different kind of backdrop. But this sound is freaking nasty. Oh. 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 That's nasty. What a sound right there. That's hard. There it is, y'all. Those are 5 new patches, all in Serum 2. Disgusting, nasty, foul. Oh my gosh. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a lot of fun, especially like kind of diving into these Serum 2 tables and really kind of seeing their strengths and weaknesses and seeing what you can make out of them. You know, you never know. It's a lot of experimentation. That's what sound design is all about. Going into the unknown and bringing something disgusting back out of it. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want these patches, you can get them over at patreon.com/hardacademy. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.